Hello and welcome back to Flogrown Cooking. Today I'm going to be making an Asian salad with a cashew lime sesame dressing along with a sesame seared tuna steak. Try saying that 5 times fast. Anyways, we're going to jump right into it right now. And the first thing we want to do is start with our beautiful tuna steaks. We're going to go ahead and start getting them ready to dip in sesame seeds. So I have my sesame seeds right here, and what I like to do is throw them down on a plate here. You can pour them out to get a little faster because you're gonna need quite a few of them. But I like to mix them up. I like to do some black sesame seeds, and then I like to add some white sesame seeds to it as well. So we have a variety of colors, makes it look a little better. But while we do that, also the first thing we need to do is go ahead and season our tuna steaks. So what I like to do is season it with some black pepper, and I'll put that down right here. And then I like to also take some coarse sea salt, put that down on it as well. And then I just kind of press it into the fish so it stays there. And one thing I didn't mention, before I do anything, I like to dry my tuna steaks. I like to take them with a paper towel and wipe off as much as I can, just so the drier it is, the better your tuna steaks will stick to the sesame oil or sesame seeds. So I'm gonna take a few minutes in doing this and getting this all prepared. But let me show you one before I do it. After we have our salt and our pepper on our tuna steak, you take it right over here and you're just gonna dip it in the sesame seeds. You're gonna pat it around on both sides, get it real good. Do the sides, the corners, until it looks something like this. And once I finish all these up, I'll come right back to you and show you the next step. Now that we have our sesame seeds and salt and pepper all over our nice tuna steaks here, we're gonna go ahead and sear them. So right in this pan, I went ahead and added some sesame seed oil, toasted sesame seed oil. This stuff is nice and flavorful. It has a lot of good aromas. And so we wanna go ahead and get the oil real hot. I went ahead and turned the heat on just a minute ago, and it looks like it is just about there. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop our tuna down on here. So I'm gonna move this oil first, put one there, and one there. And we're gonna go ahead and cook it just on both sides. You want to sear it just so it gets nice and hot and crispy on the outside, but you want the middle to be a nice pink color, just like you're cooking a steak medium rare. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, we've been cooking for about a minute and a half now, and we're getting a nice sear on the fish. You can see the top is still red, but if I lift this up, you can see we got a nice sear going over here. It's not red anymore. And I'm just gonna flip these over and go ahead and sear the other sides of this tuna. Get it nice and hot and seared. And remember, like I said the other day, fish continues to cook when you take it off the heat. So what we're gonna do is flip it a little bit earlier than you think, because it'll continue to cook on through. All right, our fish is looking really good now. It's nice and seared on the outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fire off, and I'm gonna pull these right off and put them onto a plate. And you can see on the outside, there's not any pink left, hardly at all. But when we cut into it a little bit, we'll have that nice medium rare look that we're going for. So in the meantime, what I'm gonna do with this nice tuna steak right now is I'm gonna put it in the fridge and go ahead and cool it down while I make the rest of the salad. And then that's the last thing we're gonna do, is slice it when it gets a little cooler. It's easier to deal with that way. Okay, while our fish is cooling, it's time to make our cashew lime sesame dressing. So if you look down here, I went ahead and laid out all the ingredients, and I'm just gonna say them out as we go along. But the first thing we need is some cashew butter. And you might be saying, cashew butter? I've never heard of that. All these ingredients are easily found in your grocery store, and they're not very expensive either. So we have a 1/4 cup of cashew butter, and it's gonna go in here. And then we have 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Then we have 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. We have 2 tablespoons of sriracha. Then we have the juice of 1 lime. And you don't have to use fresh lime, but I personally like to use fresh limes as much as possible. Fresh is always better. And then we have a little bit of hot honey I'm using. You don't have to use hot honey. You could also use a maple syrup. I just like the hot honey, so that's what I'm using. So we just want about a tablespoon of that. You can eyeball it. None of this has to be exactly what I'm saying. You just want to get close. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of ginger powder. And then we want to do a little bit of garlic powder. And then I'm going to start whisking. I'm going to look at the consistency as I go around. And if I need to add some water, I will. You don't have to add water if your consistency is good, but if you want it a little bit runnier, you can add some water. Totally up to you. But as you can see, that's a pretty good consistency for a dressing right there. And that was easy. So don't be afraid to make your own dressing. You'll notice in the bowl here, I went ahead and chopped up 1 head of romaine lettuce. And so I'm just gonna add all the ingredients. I have some cabbage here, and this is just a coleslaw mix. I didn't feel like shredding cabbage tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and drop some coleslaw mixed cabbage down. I just kind of eyeballed how much I wanted. And then I have some carrots sliced. And then I have 1 cup of shelled edamame that we're gonna throw in there. I have 1 bell pepper sliced up, red bell pepper. And then I sliced up 4 green onions. And I sliced up, I didn't really slice this up, but I've got some almonds here. And then I finally sliced up some fresh ginger. The only reason why I did that is because I had some ginger left in my fridge and I didn't want it to go bad. So I put a little bit of that in there. And then half a bundle of cilantro. There's a big bundle of cilantro too, and I like cilantro a lot. Again, the cool thing about salads or anything we do when cooking is you do it to taste. You do what you want to do. So that's the fun part about cooking. When you're the chef, you get to do what you want to do. So now I'm going to add some toasted sesame seeds. A little bit of coarse salt. And then a little bit of pepper. And I'm just going to mix all this up, and then I'll be back to you in just a minute. Okay, the last thing to do is to slice up our tuna steaks. So I've let it cool in the fridge for about 15 minutes or so. It's nice and cool to the touch, and I like to slice mine pretty much as thin as I can, and that's exactly what we're looking for there. We're looking for that medium to medium rare look on the tuna. You can cook it however you like. If you're the type of person who likes your tuna cooked all the way through, cook it all the way through. Again, you do you. So now the last thing we have to do here is we're going to set that tuna steak right on top like that. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take some of this great dressing that we just made, and I'm just going to drizzle it over top of everything, the tuna steak, the salad. And now I'm going to give it a try. And just look at that. How many salads do you see in the store like that? Probably none. So now what I'm going to do, get a good bite of everything here. That. If you're looking for a really tasty, healthy salad for the summer or any time of the year, this is the one to do. See you next time on Flogrown Cooking.